Hi, I'm Dan Gemeinhart, author of The Honest Truth, and in this video I'll be showing you where the scenes in chapters 7 and 8 happen, when Mark and Beau tried to cross the river on the log and spent the night on the island. This is the river that I based those scenes on. You can see the sandbars, islands, you can see the logs. Over here you can see the bridge that I put in that scene, stretching over the river. You can see how if it was rainy and dark, the only place to get cover from the rain would be under the bridge, and so that's why I had that scene happen. Now in real life, this bridge is a lot closer to Elb. In fact, it's right down the road from Elb. If you watch the video with me by the railroad restaurant car, this is just right down the street from that. But for the story to work, I needed this scene to happen later on, after Ashford. And so I just moved it miles down the road. As a writer, those are things you can do. You can make stuff up, you can move things around to make the story work. Now right now it's summertime. The river is actually pretty low, even though it looks a little rugged. In the springtime when I was here visiting and when Mark was here in the story, it would have been a lot higher, a lot faster, a lot more white water, a lot more scary looking. You can imagine how scary it would be to cross a river like that in the middle of the night on a wet log. You can imagine how cold the water would be if you fell in. And you can imagine how dangerous it would be to fall in and risk getting swept downstream. Now the scene that happened on the island was kind of a hard scene for me to write, and Mark falling in. I felt kind of mean, honestly. Mark had already been through so much and was struggling against such steep odds to have him fall in the water and lose his stuff and start to freeze and to shiver. I felt like kind of a jerk. But those are kind of the tough decisions you have to make when you're a writer. You have to put your characters through hard stuff so they can grow and they can learn. But it can't just be bad stuff that happens to them. If it's just good stuff that happens, it's not super realistic. If it's just bad stuff that happens, it's not a very fun story to read. And so right after he falls in, I gave him the scene on the island with the fire and Beau. And that's kind of a nice scene. It's kind of a dark scene, but at least he feels some kind of warmth, he feels some kind of love. He has a little nice moment with Beau. And so I tried to balance that out. In some ways, the scenes here are the lowest scenes for Mark. He's lost all his money, his plans are derailed, he got kicked off the shuttle bus, he's out of supplies, and now he has to try to walk all the way up to Rainier from here. This is as low as it gets. He's got almost nothing left, everything is against him, but he still decides to dig deep and to keep going. But before he can keep going, before he can make his dream come true, he has to survive this river and a night on one of these islands.